Hi guys, JB and Minot here, and these are my most recent pickups from December and January. Haven't done a video in a while, so let's get to it. This one was originally priced for Starlink Battle for Atlas. It's a great Star Fox game, even though it's Star Fox is an extra character in here supposedly, but it's still, they say it's still a great fighter game. Um, this was originally priced at $75, but Best Buy and a lot of places cut the price in half for 35, so I went and bought it then. And now it's back up to $75. So anyhow, you don't need the toys to actually play the game, but this is the only way to get the game without buying a used game somewhere, which hasn't been available anywhere around here. So there's that. Now for my Switch games, the rest of my Switch games, Katamari Damacy Reroll, which is a remake of the excellent PlayStation 2 game. The controls aren't as good, I don't think. They're not as smooth, but it's still a fun game. If you like Katamari Damacy, you can't go wrong with it. Hello Neighbors. I waited until this was super cheap. Um, and there was a reason I got it. But I heard the game in here, I heard it's kind of buggy though. I don't mind a game being hard, but I hear it's kind of buggy and the controls are hard. But apparently it sold well enough to make a sequel, so we'll see. Haven't played it yet. I've been dreading playing it because I'm afraid it's going to make me mad and throw my Switch across the room. Okay, I waited till this was about, I think, $19. I got this for the one game only. Risk, Trivial Pursuit, and Monopoly. And I got a Monopoly game from the same company, so I'll probably take that and trade that in, now that I think about it. But there's that. You know, I love Risk. Back when I got my, back that's when I remember buying a PS1. I was walking by a GameStop and I noticed it was on sale, the game. So I used that. I bought that so I could play it on a PS1. But anyway, I love Risk. It's one of my favorite board games of all time. Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe. Uh, it's okay. It's not as good as Super Mario Land though. I wish they'd port that to the because a lot of critics don't like this. They say it's kind of bland. Uh, it's pretty fun so far, but nothing spectacular. But I would love to see Super Mario Land for the Wii U ported to the Switch. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to take off the sticker, but I only bought it for like 15 bucks. NBA 2K Playgrounds 2. I'm not normally a 2K NBA fan, but I do love their Playground games. It's one of the first games I bought for the GameCube, but I like this. It's getting mediocre reviews, probably because there's nothing fantastic about it, but I like these games. So I bought this just yesterday. Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes. There's a sequel to the two Wii games, I believe. I don't think they ever made one for the Wii U, so there's that. Here's a couple of limited run games that are being sold at Best Buy, and some of them are still there. They're limited run games, so maybe I don't know why they haven't sold out yet, because limited run games tend to sell out. But here we go. Yooka-Laylee. It's kind of a Mario 64 type game. It's almost open world. You're going around collecting things to open up new worlds and whatnot. Uh, the jump physics aren't as good. It's still a fun game though. It's fun to explore and see different characters in battle. Golf Story. This is an RPG where you battle by playing golf. Uh, it's a fun game to play. The graphics aren't much to talk about. It's still a blast to play. You go around missions that revolve around playing golf. And it's a fun game to play. If you like golf games, you can't go wrong with this one. I bought this for like, I think, 30 bucks. It's a limited run game. Like I said, I don't know why it wasn't sold out, but I got it, so there it is. Okay, I bought into the hype of this game, and I haven't played much of it yet. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I got a little bit sick and tired last year of every single Nintendo Direct talking about Super Smash Brothers. Super Smash Brothers this, Super Smash Brothers that. And it got me almost burned out on Super Smash Brothers before I even bought the game. And it's just, haven't played much of it yet, so. Boy, a lot of these games I gotta get caught up on. This is a very fun game, but it's a tough game. It's like Dark Souls, only it's a 2D side-scrolling game. Salt and Sanctuary. It's a bit of Metroid and a bit of Dark Souls. It is a tough, tough game, but it's still fun to play. You can make all kinds of weapons. You can collect all kinds of stuff, craft stuff, and the colors on it. I know it's supposed to be a dark game thematically, but it's kind of hard to see your enemies. Sometimes enemies just pop right up before you even see them, and they're kind of hard to see. That's the only thing, my only real problem with this game. I don't mind that's a little hard, but it's still a blast to play. If you like Dark Souls, you like action games, hack and slash games, these are good games. This is a good game. Dark Souls Remastered, a port of the, I don't know if Dark Souls started on the PS3 or the PS4, but there's that. Haven't played it yet. They say it's really tough, so I'm trying to get myself psyched up for it. Diablo Eternal Collection. This is a pretty old game. I think it's been on just about every other console, I think. SNK Anniversary, 40th Anniversary Collection. Not as many games on here as I thought there'd be, but there's still some gems on here. A lot of fighting games, though, I think. But a lot of classic SNK games that I haven't played before. And, you know, if you want to check out new games from the 80s that you never had a chance to check out or play, you can't go wrong with this one. Mutant Football League, Dynasty Edition. The controls are pretty intuitive. It's a pretty fun football game. It's different. This is the game I'm playing now. Tales of Vesperia, Definitive Edition. The graphics on this game are beautiful. It's an action RPG. I thought it was just a regular old RPG, but I like that it's an action RPG. You have to make good decisions, smart decisions about how to defend yourself. It's a blast to play, but it's kind of linear. I'd rather it be more of an open world game, but I haven't gotten too far into it, so maybe it is more of an open world game than I've seen so far. But I like the game so far. It's got charm. So, and they say it's one of the best of the Tales games. Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. You know, the graphics on this game are beautiful, and I think it's a spiritual sequel to Wonder Boy. I just wish it weren't so freaking hard. You know, I wish there was an easy mode for us more casual gamers. It's a tough game to play. It's still a good game. Beautiful game. Great platforming. But they say it's like a Metroidvania game. I don't know about that, but we'll see. And last but not least, for the Switch, Sega Genesis Classics. I mean, if you're a Sega Genesis fan, you can't go wrong with this. It's got over 50 games, like it says. But it's weird. It's got a bunch of sequels to Phantasy Star, but it doesn't have the original Phantasy Star. I don't understand that. It's got a lot of sequels, but not a lot of the originals. But anyway, there's Columns. There's a couple of Phantasy Star games in there. I think a couple of Shinobi games. Shining Forces on this, which I believe was a popular RPG at the time. Toe Jam and Earl, Vector Man, which I played. Streets of Rage. A couple of Sonic the Hedgehog games. In fact, quite a few Sonic the Hedgehog games. But if you're a Sega Genesis fan, you can't go wrong with this. There's that. You can save wear and tear on your Sega Genesis. Okay, that brings my Switch collection up to 130. So, and there are people out there with over 200 Switch games, which I'm sure I'll hit sometime this year. But we'll see. Anyway, now for some classic NES games. Well, old NES games anyway. Maybe not classics. Thundercade from a company called Sammy. It's a very slow-moving tank shooting game, but it's kind of slow-moving. But there's that. I love shooting games. If you like shooting games, I guess it's okay. Tecmo Star Force, a space shooting game from Tecmo. I guess the same guys who brought Tecmo Football to you. And I apologize, it's blurry. I don't know if it's me or the camera. But anyway, there's that. Castle Quest. I don't quite know what this game is about. Remember, I bought all these games for less than 20 bucks or less than 10 bucks a piece. I am not paying 20-something bucks for an old NES game. But I think the retro market is going to correct itself pretty soon, because I noticed a lot of the Mega Man games that were up in the 50s are now down in the 20s. So that's a good thing. The Adventures of Bio Billy. This game is so old, so notorious. I didn't know I didn't have it, but there it is. That brings my NES collection up to 163. Now, for some couple of Game Boy Advance games. Ghost Rider, which is based on the movie, I believe, and the comic book. And it's a side-scrolling beat-em-up. Spider-Man, Battle for New York, and you have to pardon me for the blurriness there. I don't know why it's so blurry. But anyway, there you go. These are both side-scrolling beat-em-ups, pretty much. That brings my Game Boy Advance collection up to 343. Now for some classic Game Boy games. I did not know that I didn't have this game until a few days ago. Wario Land 2. It's an excellent platformer. Fun game to play. But there's that. It's a platformer. A sequel to Super Mario Land 3, Wario Land. Nemesis, a top-down shooting game. Space shooter. Looks like by the same people who made Gradius. And this is my holy grail. Years ago when I was in the Air Force, I bought in the United Arab Emirates a Game Boy cart that had like 200 plus games on one cart. It was a bootleg cart. But one of the games I remember on there was Palamedes. This game. Palamedes. I'm not even sure if it was even released in the States. I've got it for the Nintendo, but I never had it but I've looked for years for it on the Game Boy. And I finally got it for 15 bucks. They even sent me a manual. Unfortunately, it's in Germany, but oddly enough, it's printed in Japan. German manual printed in Japan. There's no English to it, but you can go on GameFAQs and play it. And the idea is you got a character at the bottom of the screen holding a die. Okay, it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, and up above you have dice coming down at you. What you do is you collect dice of the same number that's on the die you have now, and you can increase the number on the die and keep collecting dice and getting 3 or 4 in a row. And once you get at least 3 or 4 in a row, you can hit the up button, and the dice at the top by line will disappear, so it doesn't come down and crush you. It's kind of hard to explain. In fact, you know what? Go ahead and watch this, and I'll show you. As you can see, I kind of suck at it still, but it's still a great game to play. It's a blast to play. Anyhow, that brings my Game Boy collection up to 244. Okay, guys, I just wanted to kill some time for you here on a Saturday and Sunday for some pickups that I have. So I hope you all have a great weekend. Have a happy February. And if you like it, go ahead and subscribe. And I also have another video out about my collection of Game Boy puzzle games, which Palamedes would belong to, but that came after I made it. So, but anyway, maybe I'll put the link in below in the description. Maybe you can give it a boost and watch it. Anyhow, and kill some time for you. Anyway, have a nice day, and God bless. Bye-bye.